Hey folks, welcome back to Markelly Farm here in middle Nebraska. Spring is getting ready to spring, I think. It's still too early to tell, but it's starting to feel more like spring. And we've got a lot happening here on the farm and a lot to do here on the farm. So let's get with it. Last Saturday when the storm came through, we had some real heavy winds. I think we had gusts up to like 60 miles an hour. We lost a bunch of shingles up on the roof. You can see where our roof has been patched before. There's 2 layers of shingles on this roof because instead of stripping it off last time, they just put another layer over the top. I don't ever recommend doing that. They just don't stick down as well. Your top layer is only as good as your bottom layer. So we had a bunch of shingles in the backyard that we had to clean up before we mowed yesterday. And then now we got to call somebody to fix this. I don't know if that's enough damage to justify a new roof. Problem is, for a new roof, there's different stuff that we want to go with. We want to go with a metal roof, so we'd have to pay the difference. We also want to add a porch on the front of the house, so that's going to add some costs. And it only makes sense to do that when you're doing the roof. And we had enough money saved up to renovate the bathroom. And I really want to get that done. So I think I'm leaning towards just getting the roof patched for now, which will only be a few $100s. And then we can address the rest later. But that's that. We got the first mow on the lawn yesterday. It was fun getting the lawnmower out. Got her all knocked down nice. We should have some fertilizer coming soon. We can get our first batch of fertilizer on. We've signed up for a program at the local seed company where they get the fertilizer to us about 5 times a year, and we spread it, but we tell them what the square footage is, and they automatically measure out the amount that we need. We just got to put it on. So we pulled the tramper out of the barn yesterday. So we're going to get this thing cleaned up. The inside's already clean. Kelly just wants to wash the linens and make the bed. But I had to go this morning after breakfast and I swapped out the battery. I took it out yesterday because that battery was about 8 years old. And it was time for another one. So we're going to get the trailer washed up. And then also after breakfast this morning, I picked up a 3-point scraper implement for our friends in Tennessee. This was free to a good home, and I knew a good home, but we're gonna have to do some work on this. But Dave and Stephanie are coming later this month in a few weeks, a couple weeks actually, and Dave's gonna work with me on this project. We'll show it to you when we do it. We've got to rework some of the 3-point stuff and do stuff a little bit different on this thing. This was some kind of trip scraper, had a little arm in here that did something, but we're gonna weld everything up solid so it just works like a regular scraper. It's 8 feet long. It's got a real good bit left on the bottom. This little strip down here is called grater bit. It's a hardened material that doesn't wear out as fast as your mild steel. It's got plenty of that, and it's bolt on, so that's good. If we ever need to replace the bit, it can be done. So we got to get this out of the truck right now as our next order of business. All right, we got her set down over here. Now, these two bolts here are the only thing holding this thing together. So I think I'm going to take my cutoff saw, cut those bolts loose real quick, because we're going to have to take this apart anyway. And that'll make this thing a little more compact, because we're going to work on the A-frame separately than the blade anyway. And then we can clean this blade up a lot easier without everything attached. Well, that was easy enough. So that'll make that a whole lot easier to work on when Dave gets here. So Dave, you just got to get here and we'll get this thing done. Well, now that we got that done, we're going to get the hose out and we'll give the old tramper a wash. It's been sitting for a while, so it's pretty dusty. Now, those of you that are new to the channel probably have never seen this trailer before. And we call it a tramper because that's a combination between a trailer and a camper. Kelly and I made this ourselves. I built all this stuff up front, the tire carrier. Oh, that's another thing, we got to put the spare tire back on here. Dual propane tanks, 12-volt battery. This thing runs on 12 volt. I put a key holder here, so we have a whole set of trailer keys in this in case for some reason that we lose our keys. We're not dead in the water. Just open this, we have another set of keys. I put an RV lock on here so we can lock it from the inside. And then this comes standard with this side door lock. I put another bracket over here to lock the handle open so nobody can lock us in our trailer. The jokers that I used to go camping with probably would have did that. We added a motion activated RV light here on the outside of the door. We put 2 windows in the trailer. Back here, we got the trailer with the rear doors instead of the ramp because we wanted our outdoor kitchen out here. So that's what this is. We have a sink underneath, up underneath the storage. There's a 20-gallon water tank. We added the filler on the side over here. We've got propane stove. Up here we have storage for all of our items that we need for cooking, pots and pans and stuff like that. And then some other items over here. Got a spice rack that we made. Holds these little bottles. They pop in and out of here. Pretty cool design. And then little hangers, fire extinguisher, thermometer, so you always know what temperature it is. We have a map up here that we haven't filled in all the rest of the states that we've been in. But I might do that while it's out. But we got storage underneath here. This is Velcro attached, and then we have bigger pots and pans over here. We have our tables, our benches, our chairs, all of that stuff. And we have access for stuff underneath the sink. We added a voltmeter right here. Right now we have 12.9 volts because we just put that new battery in. We have a regular 12 volt plug here. And then USB plugs right here in case we need to charge our phones back here. Pretty sweet. And then you can just see the window here on the other side of the trailer. Let's take a tour of the inside real quick. There's our water filler. The bed's not made yet because Kelly's got all the linens inside, giving everything a wash. But here's the inside of the tramper. There's a bunk bed up top for our granddaughter Ramona. Right now we have our pillows up there, but this is her bed. And then The nightstand here doubles as a ladder to get up onto there. And then I got books and stuff down there. Fishing tackle bags underneath. But we've also got a binder that we keep for all the campgrounds that we go to. We get maps of the campgrounds from whoever's running the place, and then we write down what our favorite campsites are, so when we reserve a campsite, we know what we like. But more USB ports here. Got one on either side, one for me, one for Kelly. We have 12-volt reading lights. There's a switch for the overhead light over the dome there. And then carbon monoxide smoke detector. We've got a light here over the main area. Switches over there for that light and the outside light. And then in here we have more USB ports. Another 12 volt, another voltage meter there. We've got our two-way radios, so if we travel in conjunction with another couple, we can each have a radio in the vehicle and let each other know what's going on. Works good if we don't have cell service too. And then I put a light down here on the floor because I get up a lot earlier than Kelly does, and I don't want to turn on the overhead lights when I get up. So I just turn the switch on, it kind of lights up the floor so I can see when I'm getting dressed. But we have a big closet up here for hanging clothes. And then Kelly also keeps a tub in here for dirty clothes. And we put our dirty clothes in this tub, and then she can just take that whole tub in the house and clean the clothes, puts it right back in the tub after she cleans the tub up a little bit, and she can bring it out. We each have two drawers down here. These are full extension drawers, come all the way out. And then we have some under desk storage here for some odds and ends. And then we have an overhead storage here. We've got a buddy heater up there. We've got the heat shield for the buddy heater and some more odds and ends. And then garbage and a toilet. That's a two-chamber toilet. It's got a clean water chamber on top and a black water chamber on the bottom. It's pretty cool. And then here's our long tool storage and fishing poles and all that kind of stuff that's a little bit longer. We have our flagpole in here that we put out when we park. And then all of our electrical connections are down in that area there. And then we have a master cutout switch there for the electrical. Plenty of room for stuff. And then we found these dragonfly little hooks. Really love those. We put them all over the trailer for putting our jackets and our clothes on before we get into bed at night. We got one over here for our hats. But super sweet, full queen size bed that we don't have to take down. And then here in the front, we have storage underneath, a little tray. I'm eventually going to put this tray on slides so the tray comes out in. And then we have drawers here for different stuff. I have some of my cribbing and the flag stuff in here, and then other camping gear in these other two drawers. These were just Foot Locker boxes that we turned into drawers. We just screwed the lids up underneath the bed, and then the lid acts as a slide now. Works pretty cool. But under here we can put shoes and stuff like that. I just got to get that the pull-out system on that, the little slides. And then this 100-quart ice chest, we put this in the back of the truck for all of our cold stuff. We'll get a couple big blocks of ice that'll last probably a good week, and all of our cold stuff stays in the back of the truck. So when we're out running around without the trailer, if we got to stop at the store or whatever, we have our cold storage with us. If we need to get ice or food or whatever, it's already in the back of the truck. Well, let's get this trailer washed. All right, trailer's clean. We had a little bite to eat. Put our spare tire back on. I'd taken that off to use on our big flatbed trailer we bought last year for a spare. Come to find out it's the wrong tire. The new trailer is a 6 lug and this is only a 5. And there's also a difference in 5 lug. This is a 5 on 4.5, and our other trailer is 5 lug on 5.5. So you got to be careful of that too. So got our trailer plugged in, top off the new battery. I'm going through our big tool closet now. We got a double-headed axe. We have a splitting maul. We got a fire poker here. I got a grabber so I can go around the campsite and pick up trash. We always leave our campsites better than what we find them. I got a rake in case we got to rake pine needles. Old-fashioned broom to broom out the trailer. Shovel for the fire pit. Got all the fishing poles. I need to go through these fishing poles. I don't need all of them in here. This is every pole we have. And I just had them in here because I had no other place to put them. Checked on the battery charger. Everything's working fine. You can see that we wired this up here. We have a fuse panel there. Every circuit has its own fuse. And then we put in a 60 amp circuit breaker there as well. And we love these Deltran battery tenders. They work really well. It was recommended by a friend of mine, Nate. But this is our wiring setup here. The only thing I'm going to do different now is I'm going to take our 110 volt right here, and I'm going to come off of that and run it up, put it through the wall here so I have a 110 outlet inside there. So if we're ever plugged in somewhere at a campground, like if it's a little warm, we can bring a fan with us, put a fan here to plug in, and the fan will blow on the bed if it's a little warm. That's the only thing I'm going to do different there, but not today. So let's get everything plugged back in here now that we know everything's worked. We'll go through our fishing poles and only put in what we need. All right, got it cleaned up. Everything's bungeed in. I think 5 fishing poles is enough, isn't it? Should be plenty. I've eliminated 6. We're going to put these probably out in the shop. And the splitting maul, we need to rehang. It's a little worse for wear. Handle's even backwards. Probably come off at some point. It's all jacked up. We'll get a new handle for this in the morning. We'll rehang this before we go. All right, we'll throw this in the truck. There's a trick to hanging these. We'll do a quick tip video on that. We'll show you how to do it where this thing will never come off again. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to check the air in all the tires. Make sure they are aired up. I have a hose that'll reach clear over here from the shop so I don't have to hook the trailer up to do it. And very important step, because a lot of the issues that people have with blown out tires on the road is because their tires are underinflated. They've been sitting a while and they lost air pressure. So when they're low on air and the tire squishes, as it goes around, it works the tire and makes the tire hot because of the give of the tire back and forth rolling on the road. And once that tire heats up, it'll come apart, rips all your fenders off your trailer and all that. So it's one of the most important steps you can do other than checking your brakes when you hook up. Make sure your tires are inflated, including your spare. Well, other than hooking the trailer up and doing the final check on the lights and the brakes when we get started, we're ready to rock. Just got to put our cold stuff in the ice chest, and we'll be camping. So we're going to take you on our camping trip this weekend. So look out for that video. But I think we've got enough done today. We got to go in the house and start thinking about supper. So hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today as much as I enjoyed having you with us. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us here at Markelly Farm.